Hello everyone and welcome to Cardiff Castle. Croeso I Castell Caerdydd. Absolutely delighted that you're joining us wherever you're watching around the world. Tonight we're going to draw the pools for the European Wheelchair Rugby Championships 2023. We are less than 6 months away from finding out who'll be taking this trophy home. France are the champions. Great Britain are the Paralympic gold medalists who'll be looking to regain this fantastic pot, and we've got 6 more countries, including Israel, who are going to be making their debut at these great championships. A little bit later on, those balls will be going into the boxes, and we'll be dividing them up into 2 groups of 4. But before then, we are going to be chatting to the great and the good of this great sport. We've got some government officials as well, so do stick with us. Do you know what? Get some friends involved too. This is a special occasion as we are bringing this level of this sport to this country for the very first time. For those of you watching on the Channel 4 YouTube channel who might be new to the sport, you've definitely seen highlights. You probably watched Great Britain win gold in Tokyo. But this is a little reminder of the rules as we get to know wheelchair rugby.
Wheelchair rugby was invented in 1977 in Canada by a group of athletes with disabilities. They wanted a sport which would allow players with reduced arm and hand function to participate equally. Wheelchair rugby is a team sport for athletes of any gender with an impairment. Athletes compete in teams of 4 to carry the ball across the opposing team's try line. Contact between wheelchairs is permitted and is an integral part of the sport, as athletes use their chairs to block and hold opponents. Athletes compete in manual wheelchairs specifically designed for the sport and must be eligible to participate in accordance with the classification rules. A firm favourite in any Paralympic Games, there are over 40 countries competing in international competition and many more developing national programmes. Dynamic, fast-paced, and with a healthy dose of bang, crash, wallop, wheelchair rugby is without a doubt one of the most exciting sports on the planet. Get ready for the Euro 23 Championships in Cardiff next May.
Just seeing the action there gets me excited about what's to come. But now let's bring in our first guest of the evening, the chairman of Euro 2023, David Pond. Great to have you here for a number of reasons, but mainly because you've been such a massive part of the growth, the evolution, the journey this sport has been on. How excited are you, firstly, about the tournament and about bringing it to Wales?
Tremendously excited. I mean, this is everything I could have dreamed about, really, to kick off in this incredible venue. Very excited. I mean, it's over 2 years ago that we put the bid in, that Great Britain put the bid in for the tournament. We won the tournament. It was it was the best bid, and it was a very competitive bid against a couple of other countries. But I always wanted to bring it to Wales for so many reasons. Probably sounds odd being an Englishman, but the truth of the matter is that Wales is so passionate about all sport, and it's got a wonderful record in Paralympic sport, totally. The Welsh Rugby Union have been absolutely incredible behind this. In particular, lots of really good legacy stuff going on already. Welsh Rugby Union working with over 3,000 school children at the moment, for example, which is all part of this journey. So great place to be, and I mean, what a fantastic place to kick it off in over here in the castle.
I never thought I'd have such a nice time in a dungeon, to be honest. But it's just one of many great venues and many great places in this wonderful sporting city. What about the growth of the sport in this country? Because as I said, you've been here since what feels like the beginning. It seems crazy that despite the success on the court, there's never been a major tournament like this in this country before.
No, and I think we all, to be honest with you, over the years, we've all felt slightly guilty about that because we have been doing really well, and we are really one of the top nations in the world for development as well. But you're absolutely right. We felt pretty guilty that we've not put on an international tournament here in terms of for World Wheelchair Rugby itself. And there have been lots of reasons for that, but it's our turn now, and it's our time. And the great thing about the UK, PLC really is we are fantastic at putting on events. And as you know, we've put on smaller events, Quad Nations, we put on, and I think you'll remember this, in 2015, we put on the first ever tournament alongside the Rugby World Cup, for example, but we've never put on one of these really major tournaments. So this is kind of the step we needed to go, and I'm so excited about doing that. And I really hope that after this, Great Britain will want to go on and bid for a World Championships as well, because that's the obvious next stage.
And you've put that on record now, which is great. You mentioned the World Wheelchair Rugby Challenge there. That was in 2015 alongside the World Cup. The Quad Nations has grown and grown. We've had new countries join us as well. Why is this one going to be different? Why is this one going to be special?
Well, to start with, look at where it's going to be. This has never been done before. I mean, people said I was mad when I put this bid together, and you know, hopefully I'm not. Certainly, Wales Rugby and the Principality Stadium, Alex Luff in the stadium has been behind it. So no tournament has ever been put on in a venue like this. But I mean, you know, the Principality Stadium is, in my mind, probably the best stadium in the world. I mean, it's got fantastic atmosphere. Even if you go in the stadium when it's empty, you just get the aura of what that stadium's like. And it's an amazing stadium. And of course, you know, it'd be wonderful if we filled it, but, you know, people sort of say to me, well, you won't fill it. And actually, that's not the concept. You know, the concept is that we're going to build what I call a stadium within a stadium. And we will, you know, a bit like if anyone's ever been here and watched the boxing, you know, there's a stadium within the stadium itself. But I think the magic of the stadium and the magic of the venue and the magic of being in Wales will shine through.
What I think we have here, for the audience who are watching and for those of you at home, is an Englishman saying that Cardiff is the home of rugby. So that is what we're all excited about. David, thank you. Thank you for all the work you've done, and thank you for joining us this evening. You've heard it from the man there. Cardiff is an incredible sporting city, a great host city. So let's have a look at some of the highlights from the Welsh capital. City, isn't it? Our next guest is the Welsh Government Minister for Social Justice, Jane Hutt. Again, thank you so much for joining us this evening, Jane. Talk to us about the city then, and why it's such a special city to host an event like this.
Well, it is a wonderful city. It's the capital city of Wales, but it's got a global reach, as everyone knows. And it's so good to follow an Englishman, I have to say. Thank you to David for recognising the Principality Stadium and, you know, the fact that it is recognised as the most wonderful stadium for sporting activities of all kinds. Of course, the Welsh Rugby Union at the forefront. But, you know, this is, for us, this is a real opportunity for Wales. It's great that the Wheelchair Rugby Euros for 2023 are going to be here in Wales. And as Minister for Social Justice, I'm so proud. And, of course, it's great for disability rights, for access, and to show what Wales can do on the European and then global stage.
Well, talk to me about the stadium then, because anybody involved in Wales, involved in Welsh sport, knows how special it is. I cast my mind back to when it was built for the Rugby World Cup. So what do you think it means for these players, for everybody involved, to have it at such an iconic venue?
Well, it is an iconic venue, and as I said, it's a venue which is now recognised as a world-class venue, but it's also a venue that people love to come to in the heart of our city, and it will make such a difference now to get the people. People will flock, I have to say, to these, because we are proud that Wales has been chosen. I mean, that happens that's thanks to all those who've made it happen. But I think also it is so accessible. It has hosted the most incredible sporting events, not just for rugby, as I say, but of course we're going to be there with the Welsh Rugby Union supporting us. But I do want to say also, it's so great that there's the engagement with young people already in Wales. Young people who are going to come and be part of the audience, but also play their part as well. And I just think, people are learning about wheelchair rugby every day, and my goodness, they're going to know about it next May here in the capital city of Wales, Cardiff, and it's going to be fantastic at that stadium.
It certainly is. How does this fit in with your Welsh Government policy on accessibility in sport then?
Absolutely critical. I mean, Sport Wales, Disability Sport Wales, but this is mainstream sport as far as we're concerned. I'm proud to be Minister for Social Justice. We're working on all fronts to make sure that disabled people have absolutely every access, that we break down all barriers, that we make things accessible, and that has to cover everything. I mean, obviously, housing, transport, jobs. We've got disabled employment champions at the moment getting disabled people into work. But, I mean, sport is crucial, sport and culture. So, I'm just delighted to be here. But I have to say I'm here on behalf of the whole Welsh Government. I know our First Minister, Mark Drakeford, is sending his great regards for you tonight. It's going to be a wonderful launch. But the most important thing is to back our team. And, it's just going to be a team that's going to win the GB next year. Thank you very much.
Do you think we could get you or Mark in a chair?
Well, why not? I'm sure that would be possible because, this is about, Wales being open and accessible. Our Senedd, which I'm, down in the Bay, is something we're very proud of. When it was designed to be accessible, open, transparent. And then, we've got our Principality Stadium here in the heart of Wales, in the capital. But let's reach out to our young people and let's reach out and say, you can do it. You are the champions of Wales. You are going to see what disabled people can do. Wheelchair rugby is so exciting. And of course, Wales, the nation of rugby. And football, I have to say. After, our great achievements globally, Wales is recognised for rugby, for football, and I think for wheelchair rugby, that's going to hit the headlines. But this is a GB. This is about us recognising that Wales is the winner in terms of getting that. Thank you to David and all those who've made it possible. That it's going to be next year here in Wales.
Diolch yn
so
fawr
proud.
iawn. Thank
Diolch
you.
yn fawr.
Thank you, Jane. We are here for a draw. We have got 8 balls of the 8 nations who are going to be represented in these European Championships. It's not too confusing, but there are a few things we need to get our heads around. So let's take a look at this explainer now to find out who will be playing who in next year's Championships. Now that we all know what's going on, let's get these balls drawn. And to do that, we've got 2 very special guests joining us for this one. Josh Navidi, Cardiff, Wales, and the British and Irish Lions, and an ambassador for this great tournament, Wyn Evans. Thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen. Okay, so let's have a quick run through of what's going on again. We've got 4 pairs. The first pair, the 4th pair, that'll be the first in, already confused. Czech Republic and Israel, followed by Switzerland and Netherlands. Then we will draw Denmark and Germany. After that, the Great Britain coach, Paul Shaw, will choose which group the number 1 seeds, Great Britain, go into. That's a little bit of drama and chaos at the end, Paul. I like it. So, pair 4, Josh. I think you're in charge of popping those in. Wyn, you're going to stir them around, and we're going to find out which team is going to be the first into Pool A. Yep. Czech Republic are going into Pool A. They are returning to the European Championships. after a decade-long absence. So just to prove that we've got the correct ones in. Israel going into Pool B. It is their debut in the European Championships. They've had a meteoric rise. They've gone from Tier C to Tier A in the last 2 years. So let's get pair 3 in.
It's like magic.
It's quite dramatic, actually, isn't it? Yeah.
There we go. Netherlands.
Netherlands. They were bronze medalists in the very first European Championships. And Switzerland. So that is it. Pool A and Pool B, the 2 teams. Let's get the penultimate ones in.
What are you thinking?
This is the big one, isn't it? This is the big one.
Germany.
Germany made their debut in the Quad Nations this season. Rising star in the game. And then Denmark going into Pool B. Denmark, real quality team, actually finished above Great Britain and France at the World Championships. So now, metaphorical drum roll, please. Which pool, Paul Shaw, head coach of Great Britain, will you be putting Great Britain in?
We will go into Pool B.
Going into Pool B with Denmark, Switzerland and Israel.
Yeah.
Wow, why have you chosen that?
Well, both pools are difficult, but I think we want to get a good crossover, which is what we always wanted to do, and playing Denmark will allow us to do that, I think. So there's the reasoning behind that.
Talk to us about this tournament then, and preparation for this tournament, because having won in Tokyo, having won the gold medal there, you might have expected to follow that up with a European Championship, but France come as champions. That makes it a little bit spicier, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there was always going to be a transition after Tokyo, and we didn't get the gold medal in Paris early on in the year, but yeah, we're ready for next year. We're looking forward to it, and I think we're really excited to be here in Wales. It's always been a great partner for us to compete into. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting our own back on France for what happened earlier on in the year.
And of course, you've met them already in the Quad Nations, but Denmark cannot be written off, can they? They're a great side.
Europe is getting very strong now on the world stage, not just on the European stage. So we're not taking anything for granted, but you know we've got to go in there looking to be confident of getting the result that we need to qualify for the Paralympics in 24.
Of course, because that always seems to be the goal. What about some of the newer teams then? For example, Israel, their debut in the competition.
Yeah,
great to see a new team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, again, it's just showing the strength of Europe as a whole. You know, Israel have done a fantastic job of being able to qualify for this competition because it's never easy. Also, the Czech Republic's come back after a 10-year absence. Really, it just shows you how strong Europe is as a collective. To not only be able to get into it, but also if you come out of it, it's harder to get back into afterwards. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see these teams in real live action.
Well, we're really excited as well. Round of applause, please, for Paul, who is, of course, the head coach of Great Britain, and to Win and Josh. Great job, gentlemen. Let's have a look at the 2 pools then. We've got Pool A and Pool B. So Pool A will be France, Germany, Netherlands and Czech Republic. Pool B will be Great Britain, Denmark, Switzerland and Israel. Oh, that's it. All of a sudden, it seems very real, doesn't it? Pool A and Pool B confirmed. And now we're going to have a chat very shortly to Stuart Robinson, of course, a Paralympic gold medalist at Tokyo in 2021. He's a 2-time Paralympian, actually. And what would you say? Best 3.5 in the world?
No, I'd definitely say no. I'm obviously quite a humble guy, but there's a lot of competition out there, not just in the 3.5 category, but a lot of the players in the world, and I think that's testament with the teams that are going to be playing over in Cardiff in May next year. So I'm looking forward to testing myself against them. Yeah.
So it was Paul who was given the choice. Would you have gone Pool A or Pool B?
I think I'd have stuck with the coach's decision, because obviously the coach is always right. But yeah, I think no matter what pool we're in, it's going to be a tough draw, whatever happens. But we're really looking forward to it, not just on a personal level, but I think us as a nation after what happened in Paris earlier in the year. So yeah, fingers crossed we can come away with a win in May next year.
Coming to Wales, playing at the Principality Stadium. That sounds pretty cool to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know a few people have said it already, but it's such an iconic venue to play in at the Principality. The home of the Welsh Rugby Union, and for us to have this opportunity to go out there and to play and perform in front of such a massive stadium, and not only that, but to bring these some amazing teams over from some of the guys that have come up from the Euros B, and obviously the guys that have been there a while, like the France and the Netherlands and stuff like that. So it's going to be a good opportunity again to test ourselves against these guys.
Tell us about the group then, because you've had immense success, but it really has been a journey, hasn't it? From being the nearly men for so long, missing out in medal matches. You seem to dominate Europe and win a lot of gold medals, but then going to World Championships and Paralympic Games, it was so close but so far. But you've kind of reached that peak now as Paralympic gold medalists. So tell us about the group. Tell us about sort of what inspires you and sort of keeps you at that level. And really just how much fun you have, because you always seem to have smiles on your faces, and it's great.
Yeah, I think obviously after Tokyo, that was the main big goal for us. And like you mentioned, we've always been the nearly men and never quite made it. But to go ahead in Tokyo and play that the way we did was such an amazing feat to accomplish. And we've come back from there, and obviously we've got the weight of the world and the eyes of the world on us now, looking at us, because we are the Paralympic champions, and everybody wants to take a shot at us. And all credit to France when they came out in the Euros and played against us, and they came away with the win. But now that we're back on home soil and we've got the home support, hopefully we'll get the opportunity to play against these guys and to right the wrongs of for the past year. So yeah.
Less than 6 months till the tournament now, and we're here. We've got a global audience watching on the Channel 4 YouTube. We've got a room full of people. We've got politicians. We've got people who've supported the game. We've got international rugby players here. It does feel real. How are you going to keep a lid on it for the next 6 months?
Yeah, I mean, it says 6 months like it seems so far away, but in reality, it's going to go by pretty quickly. We've got a lot of training camps. We've got a lot of a few competitions to get through for then to get us up to speed and get us ready for this tournament. But I think already the guys are ready to go and wanting to get involved, and obviously we've got to kind of try and keep a lid on it and just tweak the little things that we've been working on for the last however long, and obviously put it into plan when we come over to Cardiff in May. So yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having a chat, and thank you all for joining us, whether you've been here with us in the room or whether you've been watching around the world at home. Let's take another look at the two pools then. The top seeds, Great Britain and France, have been kept apart in Pool A and Pool B respectively, but watch out for the other teams as well, particularly Denmark, Germany improving all of the time as well. It is a tournament not to be missed. We will wish you goodbye now and a happy new year and all of that, but make sure that you join us in May. May the 3rd, the competition begins. If you haven't bought tickets already, then make sure you do. If you can't get to Wales, then watch it wherever you can, because Stuart and the rest of the team are going to be gunning for a great British gold. Thanks very much for joining us. All the best.